There are two people with the same income, the same city, the same starting point. One of them builds wealth steadily over 10 years. The other earns more, spends more, and ends up in roughly the same financial position they started in. The difference between these two people is not discipline, luck, or opportunity. It is something that happens before any of that inside the brain, before a single financial decision is made. This video is about that difference. Specifically, it is about 7 moments where the broke brain and the wealthy brain process the exact same situation in completely opposite ways. And once you see the difference, you cannot unsee it. Moment 1. The raise arrives. Broke brain registers the raise as permission. Permission to upgrade the apartment, improve the car, eat at better restaurants, buy the things that felt out of reach before. The raise is experienced as an expansion of what is allowed. Within 90 days, the new income level is fully absorbed into a higher lifestyle baseline. Wealthy brain registers the raise as raw material. Before the lifestyle has a chance to respond, a portion of the increase is redirected automatically, structurally, into assets. The lifestyle may improve slightly, deliberately, after the savings percentage has already been locked in. The raise is experienced not as permission to spend more, but as acceleration of an existing system. Same raise, 2 completely different internal responses, 2 completely different outcomes over 10 years. Moment 2, an unexpected expense appears. Broke brain experiences this as a crisis. Without a buffer, the unexpected expense triggers an emergency response, credit card, loan, payment plan. The financial system destabilizes. Recovery takes weeks or months and often involves interest payments that extend the cost of the original expense significantly. The emotional response is stress, shame, and a temporary vow to save more, which fades within 2 weeks. Wealthy brain experiences this as exactly what the buffer was built for. The expense is absorbed cleanly. The system does not destabilize. There is no emotional crisis because the financial architecture anticipated that unexpected things happen. The buffer is then rebuilt over the following weeks as a matter of routine, not urgency. Moment 3. A sale or a deal appears. Broke brain experiences urgency. The discount creates the feeling that not buying is losing money. Limited time framing triggers a fast, emotional response that bypasses the slow analytical system. The purchase is made, often for something that was not needed before the sale made it feel urgent. The broke brain regularly spends money saving money. Wealthy brain asks one question before anything else. Was this item already on the list before the sale existed? If yes, the timing is fortunate. If no, the discount is irrelevant because the item was not needed. The wealthy brain understands that a 50% discount on something unnecessary is still 100% unnecessary spending. Moment 4. A friend makes a large purchase. Broke brain feels the reference point shift. If someone in the immediate social circle upgrades their car, their apartment, their phone, the broke brain quietly recalibrates what is normal and acceptable. The social comparison creates low-level pressure to maintain relative position, which translates into spending decisions that were not planned and are not genuinely desired, just triggered by proximity to someone else's choice. Wealthy brain notices the purchase and genuinely does not recalibrate, not because it is indifferent to others, but because its financial reference point is internal. It measures progress against its own previous position, not against the visible consumption of people around it. Someone else buying a new car is just someone else buying a new car. It produces no financial pressure. Moment 5. The month ends with money left over. Broke brain experiences the surplus as available. The remaining balance feels like extra money that was not expected, which means it can be spent without consequence. The surplus is converted into a treat, an upgrade, a slightly better version of something already owned. The account returns to near zero. The cycle resets. Wealthy brain experiences the surplus as confirmation. The leftover balance is evidence that the system worked this month. It moves to savings or investments automatically, or if not automatically, deliberately and without guilt. The surplus is not a reward for having survived the month. It is the point of the exercise. Moment 6. A financial goal feels far away. Broke brain responds to distance with disconnection. If the goal is 5 years away, the broke brain struggles to maintain consistent behavior in the present because the reward is too far in the future to feel real. Motivation fades. Habits drift. The goal gets revised, postponed, or quietly abandoned. The broke brain needs to feel progress quickly, and when it cannot, it stops. Wealthy brain responds to distance with systems. Rather than relying on motivation to cross a 5-year gap, it builds a structure that runs automatically regardless of how motivated it feels on any given Tuesday. The wealthy brain knows it will not always want to save, which is exactly why the saving happens before the wanting has a chance to interfere. Moment 7. Someone says money is complicated. Broke brain agrees, and in agreeing, it outsources the responsibility. If money is too complicated to understand, then it is not the broke brain's fault that its finances are not working. Complexity becomes a permission structure for avoidance. The broke brain follows this with consumption of financial content that creates the feeling of learning without the discomfort of implementing anything. Wealthy brain disagrees not because money is simple, but because the core behaviors that produce wealth are not complicated. Spend less than you earn. Save automatically before lifestyle responds. Let time and consistency do the mathematical work. The wealthy brain focuses on the 3 things that matter and ignores the rest. Complexity is the noise. Behavior is the signal. The difference between these 2 brains is not intelligence. It is not access to secret information. It is not a personality type that some people are born with and others are not. It is a set of interpretations, habitual, automatic, mostly unconscious, that were formed by experience, environment, and the financial models that surrounded you as you were growing up. And because they were learned, they can be unlearned. Not quickly, not dramatically, but consistently and permanently, one reinterpretation at a time. The broke brain sees a raise and feels permission. You can choose to see raw material. The broke brain sees a surplus and feels reward. You can choose to see confirmation. The broke brain sees a sale and feels urgency. You can choose to ask one question first. None of these shifts require a higher income. None of them require more information. They require something smaller and more specific, a pause, long enough for the second interpretation to become available. That pause is where the wealthy brain lives. And it is available to anyone willing to build it.